Once upon a time, in a magical land called Verdonia, there was a young girl named Elara. She lived in a peaceful village surrounded by lush forests and sparkling rivers. One day, while wandering through the woods, she came across an old, wise woman who was sitting under a tree, her long white hair flowing with the breeze. The old woman looked at Elara with kind eyes and said, "I have something very special for you, child." She handed Elara a small, glowing seed. It shimmered with a golden light, and Elara could feel its power in her hands. "This is a golden seed," the old woman explained. "If you plant it and care for it with love and patience, it will grow into a tree that will grant you one wish. But be warned, the tree will only grow if you are truly worthy of its gift." Elara was excited, but also a little confused. "How will I know if I'm worthy?" she asked. The old woman smiled and replied, "You will know when the time comes. Remember, the seed needs time, patience, and a heart full of kindness to flourish." Elara thanked the old woman and hurried back home. She planted the golden seed in the center of her garden and watered it every day. She made sure to give it plenty of sunlight and took care of it with all her heart. But days turned into weeks, and weeks turned into months, and still the seed showed no sign of growing. Elara began to lose hope. "Maybe I'm not worthy," she thought. "Maybe the seed doesn't want to grow for me." One evening, feeling frustrated, Elara decided to take a break from tending to the seed. She wandered into the village, where she saw an elderly man struggling to carry heavy bags of grain. Without thinking twice, Elara rushed to help him, carrying the bags to his home with a smile. The elderly man thanked her and said, "You have a kind heart, child. You remind me of the goodness that still exists in the world." Elara returned home feeling content, though the seed still hadn't sprouted. The next morning, as she walked out to her garden, she was astonished to find a small green sprout emerging from the ground where the golden seed had been planted. It was growing faster than she could have ever imagined, and soon a magnificent tree with golden leaves stood tall in her garden. As the tree grew, a soft, shimmering light surrounded it, and Elara felt a deep sense of peace and happiness. She had learned the true lesson of the golden seed. It wasn't the waiting or the wishing that made the tree grow. It was her kindness, her patience, and her willingness to help others that had made her worthy of the tree's gift. The tree granted her one wish, but Elara had no need to make one. She had already received the greatest gift of all, the joy of selflessness and the beauty of giving without expecting anything in return. The end. Moral of the story. The true value of any gift or opportunity lies not in the waiting for it, but in the kindness, patience, and actions we show along the way. Good things come to those who give from the heart and help others without expecting anything in return.